So welcome back, everybody, to episode 7 of the Industrial Tech Talk. My name is Kevin Wood. What we're going to be talking today about uptime and it being the real KPI for industrial networks. So if you think about industrial environments, a network outage is not just an inconvenience. It's lost money, it's lost wages, it's lost production. So the very heart of the organization that's generating the revenue flow is being affected here. So it's much different. So if you ask most teams about industrial KPIs, you'll hear the usual list of things: throughput, quality, efficiency, cost, all of which are very important. But underneath every one of them is a more basic question: can the operation keep running? Right? That is what uptime is about, right? And in industrial environments, uptime is the KPI behind the KPI. So let that sink in for a second. So the industrial environment, uptime is the KPI behind the KPI. Because when uptime drops, everything else feels it. So it is a direct correlation. Your output falls, your schedules slip, your labor gets wasted, your quality suffers, recovery takes time in the event, costs start increasing. That is why uptime matters so much. It is the heartbeat, if you will, of the organization. And today, uptime is not just about the machine, because in this environment, we're becoming more connected. It's about the operation around the machine, the control systems, the communications, the alarms, the visibility, the remote access, and the network infrastructure itself. So to put this in perspective, let's take a simple example. So you have a production line that starts acting up. A drive is faulting intermittently. Let's say the line is still running, but it's a bit unstable, right? If the operation team has good visibility, the team can spot the faults, they can trace the issue much faster and respond before the line completely stops, right, and stops production. But if communications drop at the same time that we're having the issue, it gets really hard, and it gets hard fast to be able to track that down. So now the team is not just dealing with a machine issue at that point, they're dealing with less awareness around the issue if it's not connected. That is how small problems snowball into this major downtime event. So the same thing happens at remote sites, right? So you have a pump station, a substation, a renewable energy site like a solar site. They may be physically operating, right? But if the operation loses visibility or connectivity and response slows down, that increases our risk. So that is why uptime is not just a maintenance metric. It's a business metric. And it's something that is really becoming the lifeblood of what we're monitoring in our operation. And because modern operations are so interconnected now, network resilience now plays a direct role in uptime. So this is where the platforms, the architectures, the things that we provide and come to bear inside these Cisco connected architectures, like switches and routers, they all help and provide resilient connectivity across those plant floors and remote assets. Same thing with cyber vision. We get that true visibility information. But protecting uptime is not just about keeping the assets powered on. It's about keeping the operation visible, keeping the data flow. And remember, we talked about previously about those data points not being valuable if we can't move them and take action. So this is about keeping everything connected and everything responsive. So if you remember one thing from this episode, remember this: uptime is the metric underneath output, quality, and cost. And in industrial environments, a network outage is not just an inconvenience. It's lost wages, it's lost money, it's lost production. As we say always, let's work on these environments so we can see them, secure them, segment them, and scale them. So thanks for joining. Next episode will be episode 8, and it'll be the cost of an unconnected asset. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.